Hi, I'm Tajci and thank you for watching. Today, I want to talk to you about waking up in America. I am actually in this beautiful recording studio, the Bamboo Room, just outside of Cincinnati. The man that owns the studio, Erwin Musper, is a great friend, and here's a place where I recorded my Lullaby album and my Need a Break album and a lot of the things on the Awaken. And just being here, I remember all the great conversations that went on as we made music here. As I was coming here today to record, I bumped into a friend of Erwin's, and we were talking about waking up in America. This show that we're doing, these meetings that we have right here. And I said that what I want to do is to really, to share my experiences and to feature all the people and all the stories to inspire all of us and trigger that change. And he said, sort of like a wake-up call, and I said, exactly. Waking Up in America is not exactly a morning show or a news flash. It's really or a travel show. It's really that waking up to ourselves, to our faith, to our place in this whole universe, in this whole God's creation, because it's time that we all do this. And so this friend of Erwin said, actually I'm doing the same thing. I've created a piece of art that has the same theme. And we talked and we agreed that there's so many people right now who are a part of that shift, of that awakening. And I'm really excited that you and I are a part of that too. And there's something else that he said. He said, I'm tired of being a warrior. I want to be an agent of change. So here, let's you and I be that agent of change. Let's stop fighting. And here's how I came to the awakening concept and why I was called, why I feel called to invite you to do the same. So I shared publicly that a few years ago, Matthew and I, my husband, and I had a pretty hard time. We got into that bump. We'd been traveling for years all across America, doing these beautiful spiritual concerts. I prayed every night. I brought myself in front of God and I spilled my soul and my heart. And we were right there together for so many years with our children, praying together. And yet we grew apart. And, like everybody else, everybody has their differences, and Matthew and I had our differences, and we lost that. I guess because of stress, and a lot of you go through the same thing. We fell apart, and we let then the differences even tear us apart more. And as we were trying to talk, we were just building the walls between us. And as one of our many therapists said, we're throwing daggers at each other, just by trying to figure out, by trying to change one another and change our relationship. And this is what's going on in the world. We're two sides, or however many sides, pointing fingers and yelling that we can't really hear each other anymore. We can't really hear that what we all want is love. Like in our relationship, we wanted to love each other. We wanted to stick together and live this love story that we had promised each other, that we wanted at one time or another. That's where we are in the world right now. Each of us, really, I believe, we want to see the world changed. The world as it was always meant to be. I believe it was meant to be filled with love and hope and grace and taking care of each other. And so Matthew and I went to Retrovi Weekend, and there, apart from offering us tools, beautiful communication tools, they also, the couples at Retrovi, because it's all run by couples, married couples who had gone through the same thing, they invited us to awaken. They said there's 4 phases in marriage, romance, and I talked about this in the previous episode. Romance, then disillusionment, which sometimes grows into misery, and then awakening, and then after awakening comes joy. And so I think, as a humanity, as a culture where we are now, we're kind of like, pushing that misery phase, and we need to awaken. They taught us how awakening and how the change in our relationship is only going to happen if we're willing to change ourselves first. It is hard, because to really make that change, we need to face a lot of things. We need to be willing to admit everything that went wrong. We need to really take some time to reflect, to meditate, to pray, and be willing to surrender and give up all that we're stuck on. So waking up in America, waking up every morning. We wake up every morning. So just like we wake up from sleep, from physical sleep, we have to every day wake up from our spiritual sleep, from our slumber, from this half awakened state that the culture is putting us under. And yes, let's admit, there's so many things that are putting us slowly to sleep. And every day we must awake. I heard it beautifully explained as being mindful, being really mindful of every situation that we're in, of every word that we say, of every post on Facebook. Are we attacking, or are we approaching things with love? You choose. And so, as we travel, I want to bring you stories, and check them out in all these episodes of people. They're not people that you will see, maybe not yet, in the news, but they're everyday people just like you and I, who are making the difference because they have made the shift. They had committed to be the change in the world that they want to change, that they want to see. Early on my spiritual awakening, when I learned the prayer of St. Francis, I just really wanted to see how close I can really come to living it and to saying it really like I mean it. Make me a channel of your peace. When there's despair, let me bring your love. When there is injury, your pardon, Lord. When there is doubt, ever faith. Make me a channel of your peace. When there's despair, let me bring you hope. When there is darkness, light. When there's sadness, ever joy. Divine Master, grant that I may never seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned, in giving that we receive, and in dying that we're born to eternal life. I believe it's possible. I believe this shift and the change in the world is possible if each of us decides to awaken to what we were meant to be, who we're created to be, and how we show up in the world to make it a better place. If we're willing to listen with love, hope, faith, light, joy. So this week, here's a challenge. Think of one way, one area in your life where you have fallen asleep. And be mindful, observe what happens if you do something different. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.